Let's be real. Life rarely goes exactly to plan, right? You hit a speed bump, a curveball, an unexpected roadblock. So what do you do then? In this explainer, we're going to break down some super practical steps you can take to stay optimistic no matter what comes your way.
I mean, we've all been there. You have a goal, you have this perfect vision, and then boom, something gets in the way. The real question isn't if this is going to happen, because it will, it's how are you going to respond when it does? Let's dive into that.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to use a simple but really powerful framework. First, we'll talk about what happens when life challenges you. Then, we'll get into 3 key pillars: shifting your mindset, building habits, and taking action. And it all wraps up with one crucial idea: your power of choice.
Okay, so first things first, let's just do a quick reality check. Life isn't always sunny skies and smooth sailing. I mean, there are going to be ups and there are absolutely going to be downs. The first step to staying optimistic isn't trying to avoid the storms, it's learning how to navigate them. You know, one of the biggest traps we fall into is this expectation that everything should go perfectly. And when reality doesn't quite match up with our hopes, well, we feel let down. The real secret is to stop expecting a perfectly straight path and start getting good at handling the detours.
And that, right there, leads us perfectly into our first pillar: shifting your mindset. Because so often, it's not the situation itself that's the problem, it's the lens we're seeing it through. The ancient philosopher Epictetus absolutely nailed this idea centuries ago. He said, "It is not things that trouble us, but our judgment of things." This is the heart of our first pillar. An event is just an event. It's our reaction, our judgment, that really defines our experience. So, what does this look like in the real world? It's simple. When you hit a wall, instead of seeing it as a dead end, you ask yourself one question: what can I learn from this? That tiny little question completely reframes the whole situation. This is what a growth mindset is all about. Every single setback becomes a setup for growth. But here's the thing. A new mindset is great, but it doesn't just stick on its own. That's where our second pillar, building habits, comes into play. This isn't about flipping a switch one time. It's about building a new muscle through small, consistent, daily practices. Now, to build these habits, you gotta know what you're up against. And that's something called the brain's negativity bias. It's basically our built-in tendency to focus more on the bad stuff than the good stuff. It's an old survival mechanism, and it's why one negative comment can totally overshadow 10 compliments. So how do you fight back? By consciously pointing your attention where you want it to go. Just take a minute every day and think about questions like these. What are you grateful for? What did you overcome? You could even jot the answers down. This simple habit literally starts to rewire your brain to scan for the positive. And hey, let's not forget the physical side of this. This is so simple, but so true. You can't have an optimistic spirit in a totally exhausted body. It just doesn't work. Getting enough sleep, eating well, moving your body, these aren't luxuries. They are the absolute fuel for a positive mind. All right, so we've worked on our internal world, our mindset, and our habits. Now for pillar 3, we're going to turn outward. This is all about taking deliberate action and, maybe more importantly, focusing your precious energy where it actually counts. This right here, this is a total game changer. Think about how much energy we waste worrying about things we have zero control over, like the weather or what other people think. The key is to stop that drain and redirect all that energy toward the things you can control: your reactions, your thoughts, and your daily actions.
Taking action also means being deliberate about who you spend your time with. You know, optimism isn't a solo sport. You want to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who support you. Think of your community like your personal charging station.
So, when you look at all 3 pillars, shifting your mindset, building habits, taking action, you start to see that they all point to one powerful, central truth. You always have the power of choice.
You know, a lot of us are taught to think of happiness as some kind of destination, right? A finish line we have to cross someday. But that's not really how it works at all. The truth is, happiness isn't a place you arrive at. It's a practice. It's the way you choose to live. It's the sum of all those small choices you make every single day. Choosing to find the lesson, choosing to be grateful, choosing where you put your focus.
And I'll leave you with this incredible thought from Viktor Frankl, a man who found hope in the absolute darkest of circumstances. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. No matter what is happening around you, the power to choose your response always, always belongs to you.